Welcome, everybody. This is a lovely new episode of Rocket to Relevance. It's our new e-commerce podcast, and this format will be about, well, not about only Tweakwise or only conversion or only merchandising. It's about e-commerce as a whole, basically. And that's also the reason why I invited Niels Bergmans. Welcome, Niels, to the lovely Zwolle.
Thank you very much.
We will be talking about e-commerce in general, but mainly, of course, with your current background, returns. You are now head of partnerships and sales at Returnless.
Yep.
So we will definitely cover lots of e-commerce stuff, efficiency, and then mainly, well, discuss some points on the returns and how to improve there. So let's get this started. And good to be here, Niels. Let's start with a little introduction at first.
First of all, thank you for having me.
Of course.
It was a wonderful ride from Eindhoven to the beautiful Zwolle. Like you said, my name is Niels Bergmans, born and raised in Eindhoven. Right now, I'm commercial lead at Returnless, responsible for both sales and partner management. A lot of e-commerce people know that my big love is partnerships. And that's also one of the main pillars that we want to grow on. Being Returnless, it's a overall international strategy that we want to apply. Mm-hmm. And also, again, that's why I'm really honored to be here and to be able to share a bit of insights on how returns can help grow on the merchant strategy.
Yeah, because let's dive into that. I think one of the trends nowadays is that it's not only about growing revenue, expansion in multiple countries, or of course the Mach and the headless hype, but it's also more and more about efficiency, about actually making money with your webshop. And I also name it like, hey, cut the crap. We are now here to do some real business. And important part of it is, of course, setting up efficient logistics and being, well, an e-commerce webshop. We all know returns is a headache. Could you tell a bit more about your feeling about the industry and how they will take it forward?
Yeah, 100%. So I always like to compare it with 5 years ago. Let's go back a bit pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID stuff? Yeah.
Looking at e-commerce back then, there was this challenge, which meant people had to work from home. People were not allowed to go on the streets, which means people have to shop online. And we've all experienced this. The first months, we were all a bit scared, like what's going to happen to the world, but e-commerce boomed and it exploded. It actually made it go 5, maybe 10x on the growth and scalability of e-commerce. And in that moment, shipments were a real pain in the A, right? How to get your product from A to B with the right carrier, with the right experience. And what we see nowadays is that the position of shipping 5 years ago is actually the position of returns nowadays. People have taken care of their shipments. They have a multi-carrier strategy. They have implemented the right tools, for instance, SendCloud, to really boost that shipping strategy, shipping process. But now they have experienced that products also come back quite often. And that's the moment that what we're in right now. So how do you optimize and how do you really strategize and create a policy that will really keep both the end consumer, but also you as a merchant? And I think that's a really nice sweet spot to be in 2024.
Yeah, for sure. And do you also identify certain verticals, like where is this problem huge at the moment?
The biggest one, I think this is an obvious one, this is fashion industry, cosmetics, jewelry. You see that there is a lot of returns in that area. On average, you will see around 45% of shipments that go to a consumer will come back eventually.
Wow.
And I think one of the main reasons is that people are still in their mindset going to a fitting room to really try their outfit on. Or the bigger players have been spoiling us too much with free returns over the time.
We all know the guys and girls mainly ordering plenty of stuff and then
there you go.
Not this one. Let's put it back.
And that's a big pain point, or let's say a challenge to drive that back a little. Get people in the right mindset not to order a XS, S, M, and L, while we all know that the XS and S probably will go back, and you most likely end up with an M.
And even players like Wacom, for example, they are addressing the problem through pricing a little bit. An incentive not to order all at once. But I'm sure you guys also have other solutions and alternatives to it.
100%. I think the Wacom strategy is quite interesting. We have that implemented in a solution as well, which we call the fitting room returns.
Yeah.
Again, you order 5, 6, 7 different sizes of this same product, maybe some different colors left and right. And as a merchant, you know, like 90% of this will come back, which is a pity. Which means if you would be able to charge per item a certain fee or a certain percentage that you order of the same product, it will maybe make that a bit less interesting for the end consumer to purchase all those different sizes or different colors. So that's definitely one of the strategies. Something that we've seen in the past months grow rapidly and gain like a lot of popularity is not only the exchanges. Exchanges give a whole couple of different challenges along the way, but is coupons. And with coupons, the special effect that you can create is that if you would offer a coupon and you would relate that coupon to a free return, whereas if they would want their money back, they would have to pay for their return label. That's a nice little nudge to make them go for a coupon, which will make sure that the revenue that you've sold will stay in-house. You will make sure that your end consumer will have an extra touch point on your web shop to actually spend that coupon.
Nice.
9 out of 10 times, if you would have, for, let's say, €50 coupon, they want to buy, let's say, a new trouser or like some new jeans or a new hat or whatever. That's mostly around like a bit more expensive, like €75. They spent that €25 extra, so you had not only an upsell, but also a retention moment, loyalty moment. And what even some of our brands do is, if you would pick a coupon, you will get €5 extra for free on that coupon. All just to drive people away from massive returns, but also keep the revenue in-house already.
It also indicates, I think, the cost of having such high revenues.
True.
All these measures and tricks and enhancements to the shopping experience, to avoid any returns. Going a bit deep into that topic, Niels, you told me that having returns actually affects your whole business, not just the e-commerce side of things or sales, but maybe all of your departments. Could you highlight what the impact actually is on most of them?
100%. I mean, our research, like I said, we speak with hundreds of merchants on a week, all about returns. And what we've seen is that there's on average about 5 departments within a company that will touch base on the return left or right, or however. Think about customer success, customer experience / management, warehousing, the e-commerce manager, and the finance manager. I mean, if a return comes back and they don't want a coupon, but they want their money back, that needs to be done. Is that a sexy job? Hell no, they don't want to do that. So what you see quite often is that at the end of the week, on Friday, between 4 and 5, the finance manager, with like lead in his shoes, goes to the laptop, starts to push out the numbers of the payments that need to be paid back to the end consumer. But for the end consumer, if you look at myself, I mean, if I order something and I return it, I want my money back ASAP, right? It will have a nasty taste in your mouth if you have to wait 1 or 2 or 3 weeks.
You get a little bit suspicious, like, hey,
there you go.
What's this about?
So even being able to influence that time frame of returning your product, actually receiving that product, being a merchant, and being able to directly or maybe upfront already pay back the product the moment it's dropped off at one of the drop-off stations, that's a super accelerator, not only for the whole process internally, but also for the feeling of the end consumer. Which will create loyalty. There you go.
It's already back on my account. Great service.
Another one, with what a lot of warehouse managers experience on a daily basis is if they don't have a solid digital return process, is for them it's a daily surprise, like what is coming in as a return? How many parcels will I have now? What is DHL bringing? What is DPD bringing? Oh, PostNL today as well. Oh, UPS, what's going on? Like they don't know what's coming in.
Wait a sec.
So they have to receive all those parcels throughout the day. While they're opening up and unboxing all those parcels, they don't know why the product is coming as a return. They have to open up, take their paper that's been filled in. They have to describe and like unlock what's going on there. They have to read what the reason is. Then they have to see like, oh, this reason is because the product is broken or like it's defect. What is defect? They have to check everything out. And on average, you will see that the handling of one return is between the 7 and the 10 minutes. And that's nice if you have 10 returns on a day, but if you would be a bigger merchant, which having about 400 or 500 returns on a day, that's 3 or 4 FTE working on.
You actually need a whole team to align all those returns.
And if you would upgrade that with a solid solution, you know what's coming in as a return, on what moment, with what reason. The moment you scan the label, you know the exact reasonality why something is returned.
Yeah.
You can even play around with in what warehouse you want something to be returned. Is this good to be back in stock, or does this need to go to a repair center? All those small tweaks is a huge time saver, but also insight and data saver for the warehouse management.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, it's a big game changing
100%
happening there. And it's when we talk about it, I also feel like it's a state of mind or a state of service. Actually, you totally change the way returns are a hassle to actually making an impression, a service side of things.
Yeah, I think loyalty is created for a damn lot of percentages. Don't pin me down on a certain number, but there's a lot of things going on loyalty and retention on the return side of things.
Yeah.
5 years ago, shipment was mostly the last point of touch that we really envisioned being a merchant.
Yep.
But we've seen that return process, that return experience for the end consumer is even as important as that going on shipment, right?
Yeah, agree.
Having a negative experience, about 80% stated that if you have a negative return experience, they will never shop there again.
There you go.
Being a small merchant, trying to build reputation and loyalty, that's a killer. But even for the bigger ones, we can see now what's going on with all the things online. Arjan Lubach stating about the free returns, the whole return gate, free return gate to say the least. I mean, that's coming from somewhere. And that's, I think, the
well,
main
that's
driver.
definitely a topic for this year and the years to come, I think, to explore and deepen. We also see returns being, of course, generating lots of insights and data as well. And also data that can be very useful on the front-end side of things. We have a shared customer, Travel Bags. I know, for example, via Tweakwise, they're able to, for example, use merchandising rules, weighted averages of, hey, what products to sort and what products to display. And then returns, well, it can also be one of those key differentiators, like, hey, this product is as good as the second product, but has an 80% return rate. So then they don't give it the highest attention possible. Those insights are also very, very valuable, I think.
I think you're hitting the nail on the head. I've been had a lot of discussions internally with the team, how important data actually is. And Travel Bags, like you mentioned, I think this is a beautiful case. What you could see there is that they had two products, let's say 1% of their products, which resulted in 17% of their returns. So there was this sports bag and this backpack, laptop work backpack, that cost 17% of the returns. Now imagine average return is 12.5 euros, about between the 7 and 10 minutes of processing. What they did is, based on the data that they retrieved on Returnless, they managed to realize that, wait a minute, the most reasons that we have are either related to the size, or the gear not be able to fit inside of those bags. So what they did, easy little hack, they shot new profile pictures, photos, product pictures of an average sized person holding the bag. Which shows,
just to get an impression like, hey, what's the...
Easy as that. What you've seen is that the percentages dropped drastically from 70 up to give or take 9%. Which is, if you look overall, it's not that much. But in general, being able to drop this amount of return, like 8% is quite a big number, right? Especially on
it's
1%.
really cool to have those insights and actually, do something about it. And have that fixed so quickly, actually.
100%.
Of course, within e-commerce, product data, PIM is the starting point of things. And actually shows like, hey, that's a really important one to tick the box. If you could add the product data with performance data from products, like you guys have those insights as well. Are those insights also shared by the platform or through the platform?
We even have those data, those return data on product level, so you can per product see how many times did it get back, what is the overall missed revenue that we created on that product, what is the main reason, and there's even capabilities to really dive deeper into the return reason. So if you're in fashion and you would have, for instance, a sweater, and the sweater, the reason that it's going back is because it's too large. Okay, we know it's too large.
And then when it happens 10 or 20 times, then you say, hey, watch out, guys.
Even more in depth, What is too large? Are the arms too long?
Okay.
Is the torso too big? Is the torso too long?
Yeah.
You have to learn from these insights, right? If you have these insights, you can, on the front end of even manufacturing the product, take care of that.
Yeah.
And that's how some of our merchants also play around with it. They've seen like, hey, wait a minute. On average, those shoes are being labeled as being too big. It's not that they were too long, but they were just too wide. So they changed on the manufacturing side to narrow down the shoe a little bit, resulting in a massive drop on the wrong reasons.
Again, data and insights.
100%.
Very important, very important. But we have some more use cases as well, I think. Could you highlight another use case from Camera Express, I believe?
Oh yeah, Camera Express is a cool one. Camera Express also joined one of my colleagues, Joost, during the Webwinkel Vakdagen in one of the master classes. And I think the coolest one is that they had 3 different processes with different carriers and integrations aligning, which was quite a hassle. Like data got lost, insights got lost, processes took really long, and they managed to push all that into just one solution, which is already not only a money saver on different solutions and platforms that you work with, but also on the data that you gather in one spot. What they really did nicely, in my opinion, is also the omni-channel strategy. Like obviously, you can return via your web shop, but being able to select a physical store to go there and return it for free, that's nice.
Awesome.
On top of that, they also have a repair service or an assurance service. So you could go to the physical store, for instance in Eindhoven, go there, they would have the returnless form open there. The colleague or the employee of Camera Express would go through this questionnaire that they created with returnless, pinpoint exactly what was wrong. For instance, the camera was broken, or the lens was not broken properly, or did not fit, or the charger didn't function or whatsoever. But based on those in-depth, custom-made questionnaires, they could really pinpoint why products got returned, give the new product or a coupon or discount right away on the spot, and have that service level extra touch point, which created loyalty and retention.
Really impressive.
That's and again, all based on data, being able to implement that on your returns.
Yeah, it's really awesome to work also omnichannel in your local physical stores. And what do you see as being like the next step in returns or return management?
Good question. I think
maybe you can share a bit about the roadmap, or maybe more visionary, like, hey, what would be really a game changer to get that level in your return game?
I think that's going to be a combination. I think data is still just scratching the surface. Yeah. We're still way too shallow on that. We're going way deeper on data. Yeah. In combinations with other partners. Yeah. Integrations with solutions that aim for the same goal, help merchants grow. And grow doesn't always need to be in giant leaps. It can also be in small percentages on small parts within the organization. And I think that will be a massive growth accelerator. Yeah, nice opportunity still. Another one that I discussed is durability. Not only the environment is being impacted by returns because a lot, emissions, etc. But also the mindset. And I think the whole movement that's going on right now, also on national television, on national media, about let's stop the free return kind of mindset. I think that's really needed. Yeah. Also with the fitting room return solution that we came up with, like, hey, be able to maybe consciously and maybe a bit forcefully move the consumer, the online shopper, to a better mindset about the returns and the impact that it will have on the environment. Of course, you see it in checkouts as well. Like, hey, a little reminder, like, hey, do you actually need 3 of these products? There you go. Or this is your emission impact while shipping. Yeah. Just to be more conscious and more aware. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big, still a big leap to gain there. Yeah. Let's do it together, right? Yeah, let's do it together. And regarding the shopping room you mentioned, shopping window. Do you also work with partners like Fastlet, for example? Oh yeah, 100%. To get more actionable, personalized sizing data, and then working that data as well? Yeah, we actually have an integration. Nice that you mentioned it with Fastlet. Yeah. What's really cool is that based on the reasons why we got returns, the size is too big, too small, whatsoever, being able to push that via an integration
back
into
to
the solution of Fastlit,
yeah.
and being able to push that back into your ERP or in your CMS system, whatever you work with, that's gold. Again, that's data.
Yeah.
The shopper that's using that online measurement tool will go to another shop, which is also using the same tool, which already has your sizes pre-saved, which will then be able to filter on the products that you'll actually fit. I mean, that's gold. That's those
awesome.
alignments I was talking about. Finding the right alignments, integrations with partners going for the same
It
goal.
would be really cool whether that's exceeding not just one store, but maybe all the
Overall.
stores you are shopping eagerly, just to be conscious. And then maybe to wrap up, Niels, maybe we should talk about a summit coming up.
There is.
Is that something to share about?
Yes,
Okay, okay.
Hopefully Maxime will not kill me after this, but yes, we are brewing on something real nice. That will be the first ever hosted and organized Return Summit.
Nice.
A full afternoon and pre-evening focused on one thing only, and that's returns.
Returns from A to Z.
From A to Z, with partners, with breakout rooms, with masterclasses, with keynotes of bigger brands that have the hassle on a daily base, that share experience. Again, all with the same mission: help merchants grow and scale with returns.
Scale with returns. Well, that's a nice takeaway.
You heard it here first.
All right, we have a first in the show. Thanks, Niels. But that's definitely worth looking into, I think. If you would like to know more information about this topic, if we got you hooked, if we got you inspired, well, definitely go to the summit, and you'll find way more cases, I guess, and nice hacks and tips to get that going.
100%.
Let's wrap up. Thanks for joining, Niels. And I think we gave some good insights on what to improve after shipping nowadays in 2024. And we'll see you around. And thanks for joining.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.